Could Batman be the GOAT of the UFC? I already made a video of if he could be in the UFC. You guys should go watch that first. We first have to break down what it would take to be the GOAT in the UFC. So let's go over my top 5 GOATs. Jon Jones, GSP, Islam Makhachev, Alexander Volkanovski, and Demetrius Johnson. This might be controversial because of Jon Jones and everything going on with him recently, but could Batman be the GOAT? I do think he'd be the GOAT. Let me just break it down. So at the top, we have Jon Jones and GSP, who are both double champs. GSP having a belt at welterweight and middleweight, and Jon Jones having a belt at light heavyweight and heavyweight. So to be the GOAT, I believe to start, Batman would have to be a double champ. In the other video I made, I said he'd have to fight at 205, which is light heavyweight. So for his second belt, he'd either have to fight at middleweight or heavyweight. Let's say he goes up to heavyweight. So if he were to achieve this right now, he'd have to beat Ankalaev at light heavyweight and then Tom Aspinall at heavyweight, which is definitely not an easy thing to do. But does he have the ability to do so? Well, I believe compared to the top of the food chain fighters in the UFC, Batman doesn't quite have the same skills. I think his physical prowess will be so overpowering where it just won't matter though. And I think hypothetically, he'd be able to stand with any striker and bang. But we almost never see him grapple in any sort of media, which is going to be a problem. But he will get a fight camp, and he'd be fighting for the light heavyweight title first, after he's already fought multiple contenders. So at this point, I'd say he's pretty proficient in grappling. And light heavyweight isn't known for their grapplers either, not even Ankalaev. So even if he's less skilled on the ground as Ankalaev, I think he still wins just because, again, his physical prowess is just so unbelievable. Between his strength, his durability, his speed, everything, his cardio. So now he has the light heavyweight belt. He defends it a few times and then he goes up to fight for the heavyweight belt. And he should be able to put on plenty of weight because he's Batman. He can probably just put on that weight pretty easy. And I believe he's taken PEDs, so now even if he doesn't, I think it's going to be easier for him to put on that strength and muscle. And now he goes up and wins versus Tom Aspinall for his second belt. This is just the start though, because he also needs to have never lost in his whole career. Just the fact he beat Tom Aspinall and Jon Jones ran away from him and retired because of him is a huge thing. So let's just say he stays undefeated. Not only does he need to be undefeated, he needs a stellar record. And that record needs to be full of killers. The number of fights he's had isn't going to matter as much as the quality of fighters he's fought. So who does he need to fight to become the GOAT? Well, he's already fought Ankalaev and Tom Aspinall. Who does he fight before he gets the title and after? Let's first look at the top 10 in the light heavyweight division right now. Oh, let's say he's number 10 in the top 10. I would start out with giving him Jamal Hill. At this moment, Jamal Hill is number 6 coming off a loss of Khalil Roundtree. And he beats him and that puts him at the number 6 spot. And Jamal is an ex-champion, which is a great resume fight. Even though it seems like Jamal Hill is going downhill, it's still good for his resume. So now he's number 6 and he needs a top 5 fight. Right now, Yuri is coming off an impressive win against Jamal Hill as well. So he ends up fighting for the title. So in the meantime, we fight Carlos Ulberg, who's also a great prospect. We beat him. It's another big fight for our resume. Let's say Ankalaev beats Yuri. Now there's still Alex Pereira, who should fight for the title before us because he was a decently long-reigning champion. He was a double champ. So now we beat Carlos Ulberg, and now Alex Pereira is going to fight for the title. Now we need a fight. So who do we fight in the meantime? Yuri Prohaska. We fight and beat Yuri. Yuri is A, still a top contender, and B, an ex-champion. Huge for our resume. Ankalaev beats Alex Pereira again, and now it's our turn to fight him. Win the title against Ankalaev. Ankalaev doesn't get the immediate rematch because we want Alex Pereira because we want to become the GOAT. We need names. We call out Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira fights us. We beat him. 2 division champ. We now have 1 title defense. But Aspinall won't fight us unless we have a few more. Dana won't give it to us unless we have a few more. But now at this point, Khamzat Chimaev has been champion for a little while. He wants that second belt. He comes up and fights us for the title. Batman wins. That's another huge name to our resume. And now the only person we really haven't fought in the top 5 is Khalil Roundtree. So we fight him for our third title defense. We beat him in crazy fashion. And by the way, I think Batman does this with ease, all these fights I've been talking about. And now he goes up to fight Tom Aspinall. He beats Tom Aspinall for the belt. Tom is a pretty long-reigning champ at this point, so they get an immediate rematch. They fight again, he wins again. But now we have to defend a few times to become the GOAT. So let's look at the top 10 of the heavyweight division. So at this point, this list is slightly irrelevant because we're talking a good amount into the future, probably 2 years into the future. So I'm just going to say Jolton Almeida is the number one contender right now. We defend versus him. We beat him. Now I think we defend versus Gon and Volkov and maybe Pavlovich. I think Tom also earns the third fight and we beat him again. Now we're looking for our retirement fight. Batman is a 2-time champion and he's defended the belt of each multiple times. More than anyone else has defended 2 belts. So he calls out Francis Ngannou, the Predator himself. Francis re-signs with the UFC. Batman beats Francis and becomes the best MMA fighter of all time, retiring with a perfect record, facing every opponent. Do I think this is possible? Yes, I do. I think if Batman came to the UFC, it would actually be pretty easy for him to do this. He's fueled by dead parents, so he just never stops. And Jon Jones is talked about being the GOAT for a long time now, but Jones ducked Aspinall. I never saw Batman ducking Joker or anyone. Bro fought Darkseid. Maybe Aspinall just needs to poison Jones' family with laughing gas and Jones will fight him, but he won't. That is what I think Batman's path would be to become UFC GOAT, and I think he could easily do it. I know this was kind of a weird video because I didn't talk about Batman in depth that much, and it was really just a UFC video, but I hope you guys liked it. Please like, share, and subscribe. See you in the next one.
Just come back for fun, because it's great being alive with you.
Good reason.